Good Wednesday evening to you. Richard Scott here with the forecast update. Our local weather pretty quiet right now across Alabama. Things are very active though in the tropics. So let's talk about Irma first off. Still a Category 5 hurricane. Here's the radar loop out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, and you can still see that very well-defined eye structure as this is close enough to the radar site to be able to pick that up in the eye wall with that. Again, this is pulling away from Puerto Rico, so the dangerous conditions are also starting to move away from that particular island. The infrared satellite imagery just truly incredible today. The symmetrical nature of the storm, very well-defined hurricane, and you see the white there that represents very cold cloud tops indicating strong thunderstorms right around the eye, and that is indicative of a strong and well-organized hurricane. And that deep eye there, that is very impressive structure for a hurricane. So again, tonight, winds still sustained at 185 miles per hour. That makes it the longest lasting storm of winds that strong over a consecutive period of time. It's been over 24 hours now with winds that strong with Irma. That's never happened before in the Atlantic Basin or even the Pacific, according to the record data we've been looking at. We do have hurricane warnings for much of the Bahamas and hurricane watches for the far western Bahamas. This is going to take a little bit longer to get there, but hurricane warnings are indicative of hurricane conditions a very short period of time from now. Here is the track, and I do expect this to maintain Category 5 status through Friday, and this is the official National Hurricane Center track. It moves west-northwest and then cuts north and kind of northwest or north-northwest late Saturday and early on Sunday. This is 2 o'clock on Sunday. Now, if this track is correct, that would have a Category 4, potentially even a Category 5 hurricane right on top of Miami, Florida. That would be very devastating. That would be about the worst case scenarios you can possibly imagine in terms of a landfalling hurricane over a major metropolitan area. Now, the cone of uncertainty extends west of Key West and to the east over the Bahamas. So, again, this thing could easily shift east or west over the next few days. We got to watch this thing carefully. I don't think it's going to be an Alabama impacting type of storm, but if this circulation, the center of this storm, the eye wall, passes just offshore from the east coast of Florida, not going to be a big deal at all for the state of Florida. So, again, if this track right here were correct, that would be devastating to much of central and east Florida. All the way up the coast, you see this track's all the way up into Georgia and the Carolinas by Monday. It's still a major hurricane. So, again, if this track shifts further east and this storm can recurve before reaching land, that would be wonderful. I don't see that happening yet in our model data. Some models have been hinting at that. Again, we're just going to watch it the next several days and continue to fine-tune updates on Irma. Again, wind sustained 185 miles per hour, pressure at 916 millibars. Irma's not the only storm out there. We've got several other tropical systems across the Atlantic Basin. In fact, we've got 3 hurricanes in total, and it's been a while since that's happened. I believe 2010 was the last time we had 3 hurricanes simultaneously across the Atlantic Basin. We got one in the Gulf of Mexico in the western Gulf. Katia, don't worry, that storm is going to turn back away from the U.S., moving to Mexico. Now, friends in Mexico, going to be a big deal for you, but in terms of the U.S. impacting storm, not going to happen. Irma could be a major impact to the U.S., as we're just talking about. And Jose out in the central Atlantic, looks like that storm is going to be a recurver type of storm, but again, we'll watch it carefully over the next few days. So what's happening? Here's a look over Tuscaloosa as of about 9:50. It's 64 outside. That is incredible. It feels good with that north wind at 5, and temperatures tomorrow morning starting off in the low 50s during the afternoon. Should top out in the upper 70s to around 80. Our computer model keeps things very dry across Alabama. Thursday, Friday, no issues at all across the state. Will stay rain-free really all the way through the weekend. So if you've got plans outdoors, temperature's going to be really nice for this time of the year. So tonight, on this Wednesday night, low 50s. Tomorrow will top out somewhere between about 78 and 81. Look for plenty of sunshine through the weekend. No problem at all. As we do go into the weekend, we got Alabama home opener at Bryant-Denny Stadium Saturday afternoon. Temperatures will be in the low 80s. Overnight lows back at the 60s, low 60s at night. We will get a little bit of dry air because of Irma moving up to our east, and that'll usher in some dry continental air into the state. I do expect highs on Monday and Tuesday in the low 80s, lows in the upper 50s.